Welcome. My name is Marie, and you are listening to Hurricane in My Life. Hurricane in My Life is a podcast where I share my stories, life experiences that are ups and downs. I also occasionally, as you know, if you've been listening for a while, use my podcast as a way to vent and share more than ups. Usually a lot of downs. However, today will maybe be a surprise. Each episode is different and unique. So please sit back, relax, grab some water, as it's best for you, and best to get at least 64 ounces in a day. I want to pause for just a second. Please don't forget that sometimes trigger warnings are needed, they're necessary, they are. So if you feel the topic of today's show is too much for you or makes you kind of have like that not right feeling, make sure that you do the right thing for you. And maybe that means don't listen. Go ahead, skip. That won't hurt my feelings. Or maybe save it for a time where you would be okay to listen. That's okay too. Please take the necessary steps you need to take care of you, as that's number one. Reach out to your safe person or people to recover. And remember, I am not a professional. I am just a scarred up person trying to educate others about my heartaches and life tragedies. With all that being said, let's get started, shall we? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hurricane in My Life. Thank you for choosing my podcast. My last couple episodes, I haven't had very long ones, but that's okay. And I also haven't been very good about staying on top of prepping for it. Early last week and now this week, I'm prepping literally the day of. I will try and get back into the swing of doing things, ahead of time. As I think I've mentioned, or at least pretty sure I mentioned, I got sick back in December, and the only thing I did keep up with was my podcast and just slowly trying to get back into the rhythm of functioning every day, especially with the holidays being over. But today's topic, a little raw. So back in 2010, a great aunt of mine passed away, who I was very close to, and it was actually right about this time of the year. It was in January. It was like mid-January. So that's coming up, and then she's on my mind all the time, but I just remember all the good times. And then I have a little cousin that was born right about this time of the year, and she was supposed to have a swim meet today, but the weather in Wisconsin had other ideas, and so that got canceled. So hopefully I can make it to a different swim meet. And then another good thing that happened around this time of the year, back in like 2009, I think It was one of my aunts ended up getting a kidney transplant. She actually got it from her sister that died in 2010 in August. I talk about her quite a bit on my social media, in my blogs, and I'll be talking about her quite a bit in August when her anniversary of her death happened. So, be on the lookout for that, or, listen for that. So I really don't have a lot to say today, just kind of really taking this time right now to remember to take the good in, as well as letting myself experience the bad and remembering the good and not focusing solely on that bad. Now, for next week, within the Martin Luther King Day in mind, because that should be Monday. Next week, Saturday, I will be talking about, my topic will be, do you have a dream? And it'll be along that lines, and it'll be pertaining toward me specifically with my dreams as being an advocate and activist. And that should be a really good topic, because that's a powerful one and one that's very meaningful to me. And that will kick us off to start talking about talking to legislators and what you can do when you have a lot going on and you just need change and whatever, how to get those changes rolling. Like, what are the proper channels? Who are the proper people to go to? Is it a legislative problem, or is it a county problem? Is it a community problem? Is it a city problem? Is it a rural area problem? We're going to be talking about all those kinds of things, especially next week with my podcast. I'm going to be calling it, like I said, Do You Have a Dream? And it's going to be kind of with Martin Luther King's, one of his most famous speeches in mind. So, yeah, keep listening for that episode. Then we are going to end the month with how did the first few weeks, because that'll be, week 4 of 2024 already. We're going to talk about how the last, 4 weeks have gone for me. And then we're going to be in February after that. And it'll be February 3rd. And my hopes is to talk about Groundhog's Day and my aunt a little bit. My one that died, it'll be 2010, August of 2010. Talk about her a little bit, and maybe talk about some Black history for Black History Month, and talk about some people that have really inspired me as activists and things like that. Kind of my goal with that, or my thought process with that. I might get some other people's feedback on that. If there's anything you want to know in the meantime, or want me to talk about in length, please let me know at Sweet Thoughts by Marie's Facebook page or Instagram. Or you can email me at sweetmariethoughts2022@outlook.com. Thanks, everybody. Much love, peace, and kind. Bye. Hey, y'all. Thank you again for listening. It shows that what I'm doing is for good and that people do care. And I appreciate that. So, thank you for the love. Just know you're loved, you're cared for, you are all the things. Here are some ways that you can show support for me and show some love. You can find me on all social medias like Facebook and Instagram, and you can also find me on Pinterest. I'm trying to figure out how to put my blog on there just to get some new people to read it, look at it, hopefully follow it. So if you do those things already, you are amazing. You are wonderful. Just know I love you a lot. And you can email me at sweetthoughtsbymarie. No, that is how you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. You can email me at sweetmariethoughts, S on the end of thoughts, 2022 at outlook.com. Again, I appreciate any way you support me, whether it's listening to my words as I speak them, whether it's reading my words that I have written. Just know you are the best for supporting me in any way you have supported me. Thank you very much for all you've done. It really helps me in so many ways, that more than I can really express. I am at a loss of expression of words. I really am. One thing that I know by your support, whether you read my words, listen to my words, or both, I know that I'm on the right path and that I'm doing the thing that I am supposed to be doing, which is sharing my stories, which is sharing my life experience. And I hope it does what it's supposed to, which is touch your life in a way to know you are not alone. I hope nobody that listens to me ever considers themselves to be a nobody. Please know you're somebody. You are somebody to somebody, whether you realize it or not, whether it is expressed or not. You are somebody to somebody, okay? That might not make sense, but I really mean it. You mean something to someone, not just yourself. Just know your love always, whether it's by someone in your life or by God. You know, I have my days where I feel He's the only one that backs me up and has me in my corner for the next round. You know what I'm saying? He has me ready for the next fight. But realistically, we all have people that love us, even though people tend to have a really cruddy way of showing that they love and care for someone. And that hurts. I know. I get it. I do. That's all I can say, people, is never forget. You are somebody. You are loved. You are needed. You are wanted. And sometimes a little extra prayer is all that's needed to help you figure that out. Or maybe a conversation. Again, I know I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Never give up.